Well, hello, hello. Now, man, it's like 11 o'clock at night. I can't believe I'm still awake, but I can't sleep. So, I just picked my phone up, and it's been so long since I've done a time test because I don't care how much time it takes anymore to reach people all over the world for Jesus. I don't care. I will spend it. Okay? That is our top priority, is to proclaim the gospel, disciple the believers, and teach them to do the same. Okay? And that's what this group, that's what Jesus used to start this group. Okay? And I know there's a lot of new people, but I just want to tell you how this group started. Okay? And here, I think you can see this. Let me turn this light over here. Okay? I think you can see this. See, there's lists of names. There's names. That's not half of them. We're doing a big update right after the first of the month. That's not half of the first and second generation disciples. In other words, the disciples or the personal people builders that Jesus has given me and Allie. Now he's bringing them to her twice as fast as he did me. That's the first and second generation, the people that Jesus has brought to me and the people that Jesus has brought to them. Okay? Now there's a lot of you that know exactly how to reach the world with the gospel. Okay? As you are circulating, as you are going in your community and regionally, and the Holy Spirit tells you to tell somebody about Jesus, just walk up to them, start talking to them, and tell them what God tells you to tell them. And internationally, regionally, and internationally, I just showed you how to reach 20 people with the gospel in 10 minutes. Okay? And if you reach 20 people a day with the gospel, you will have reached 140 people a week. There's 52 weeks in a year. That 140 times 52 is 7,280 people a year in 10 minutes a day, once you get the hang of it. And I was reaching a lot of people in French-speaking countries, so I was sending them a gospel message in French, most of them. I think I sent an English one time, but that was 20 people. I counted them. It took 10 minutes and 11 seconds. Okay? And so I just, I learned a lot of leadership stuff from a guy named John Maxwell a long time ago. And one of the things John Maxwell said, in any successful organization, you set the bar high to start with. Okay? So I'm not trying to be mean to anybody, or I'm not trying to be anything, but let you know how dead serious God is about us reaching everybody on this planet. And this entire work of Jesus, okay, is built on what I just showed you. That's the way you sow your seeds. And it came to me about 12 years ago. It was right before Christmas, and I just read a study, the Christmas study, one of the Christmas stories by Brother Herb Hodges. And at the end of that study, I just started crying. And I just said, God, I said, send me anywhere you want to send me. I'll go, but I've got to have the money to go because I don't have it. God didn't send me any money, okay? But I had an idea. And at that time, I didn't know that Facebook had members all over the world. I thought it was just for America. And so I just wondered. I wonder if there are people on Facebook in other countries. And so I searched for people in other countries, and I found them, and by accident, I had set up another profile for some books I had written, trying to sell the books. I didn't know you're supposed to set up a page on your profile. I just set up a whole different profile, and that's where CN Sense came from, and that's kind of an acronym type thing for common sense, okay? But anyway, I was just in that profile and forgot I was in it. So I started searching for people in different countries, following a book called Operation World. Okay, and Operation World is online now. You can download the app, but this is Operation World. And what they do is they go through every year. They go all the way through the world and pray for all the countries in the world. And, you know, they have some specific prayer requests and things like that. So I figured, well, I'm really not smart enough to keep up with how many countries I've gone into. If I start writing a list down, I'll probably lose it. So I'll just stick with Operation World. That way I can get all the way through the world in a year, in every country. So that's what I did. And the one disciple came out of that for about 7 years, okay? And then I went to see Brother Hodges, last time I got to see him before he graduated. And we was talking, you know, about what was going on, and we had access, through that, we had access to about, I think, 3,500 Christians in Faisalabad, Pakistan. So he was excited about that. And after we talked, I think he started praying different for me. Or maybe just started praying for me, you know, for the first time. I don't know. But something happened. Because then he graduated. And right after he graduated, that's when Jesus started bringing me people. And that was about a year after he looked me right in the face and said, Ken, everything comes out of your quiet time. And that's when I changed my quiet time. I began to change it. Before I do anything, I try my best every morning, turn my phone off, get my Bible out, study, read, and listen to the Lord. And if I've got questions, and I usually do, about things that happened the day before, I ask him, and I just wait for the answers. And I've got journal after journal after journal of things he has shown me. Anyway, get your 20. Get 20 people a day. And some of you are getting to the point where you should be ready to start doing that. Okay, so I'm going to be asking you, starting at the end of February, that will be added to your report. Have you reached 20 people a day online with the gospel? Okay, and I love you, and I don't want to hurt your feelings, but if you're not willing to do that, then you're not ready to be part of this group. Okay, and quite honestly, we don't need you until you are. And Jesus doesn't really need you until you are either. So, if you can't honestly answer that question, yes, I've done my best to reach 20 people a day. And I understand that, especially in Africa, the cost of internet service is different. In America, you can pay a set amount of money and have unlimited internet for that month, okay? That doesn't exist in Africa, to my knowledge. You have to pay as you go. So maybe you don't have the money to use that much data. I understand that. Do the best you can and be honest with me about it. But if you can access and reach that many people a day and you just won't because you're just too busy, or this and that and the other, let me tell you something. This is the top priority of the creator of the universe. It is. So if you can't do that, there's no place for you here until you can. I love you. You will never come off of Allie's and mine's prayer list, but we don't want you in our groups until you understand the top priority of God and you're willing to execute it. And I don't care who you are. Okay, I mean, I care, but it doesn't matter if you've been a disciple here for 10 years or longer, and you can't execute that. We do not need you until you can, because all that's telling me is that you are not ready to pay the price yet. I mean, people, we're talking 10 minutes a day. If you can't carve out 10 minutes to actually execute the only marching order that Jesus ever gave us, then please go somewhere else until you can. Now, you saw me mostly doing French. We have scripts to do this with. And you are welcome to them. All you have to do is send me a Gmail email address. And if you don't know how to get one, contact Philip Frederick. He'll show you. And then I can share these scripts with you, and you can tailor them to fit what the Lord showed you to say. But there's French and Spanish and Arabic and Hindi and Urdu and 2 or 3 other languages, I believe. And you can have free access to all of them. I love you, but if you're not going to do this, I don't need you. Take care.